Welcome back.
So we watched Trese.
It's a good show, yes.
It's a great fucking show.
It's not perfect, and we have a lot of problems with.
There's a lot of things that we actually want to say. Because we've been seeing so much crap from social media, from everybody talking about it. And some are good, some are bad, and some are just... Can you give me a monster?
Are we allowed to show monsters, right?
Yeah, we can. Monster, if you can fucking see us, sponsor us, man. Because it's our lifeline. This is how we live. This is our sustenance. This is the only fucking nutrients that we have.
This is how we live. Sadly.
Okay, so, what do you think about the show?
Oh, I love it.
All of it?
It's not perfect, obviously. It's a first animation, actually, by Bay Studio, the company who produced it. I mean, first animated series. It's pretty good.
Oh, sorry.
Bay Studio is an Indonesian company. They have been making movies for a while now. All of their movies are Indonesian live action.
I'm pretty sure you guys already know. Trese is actually based on a comic.
It's like a 15-year-old comic.
It's around like that, like 2005, right? So it's like a super old comic, and then it just got picked up recently. We're not gonna say specific spoilers, but if you really want to be surprised and have your own conclusions about it, panoorin nyo kasi we're about to break it down. At first, I didn't really expect anything from it. One is, it could be just the hype. Kasi alam mo naman tayo mga Pilipino, pagka sumisikit, parang, uy, Pinoy! Pinoy!
And then, and every other animation before that, except for Hayop Ka, was like, it's kind of like,
Because napanood kay Hayop Ka's pretty
yeah,
good.
so that's one of them. That's one good. Yung Saving Sally, medyo enjoyable siya, but that's a few years back, and it's not fully.
It's not fully animated yet.
Oh.
I didn't really expect much of it in the beginning. First episode, I was like, it showed promise. I'm like, okay. Because I remember reading the comic when I was a kid. When I was like a kid, yeah, when I was still in high school.
How did you read it? Like, we don't have access to that.
Okay, so episode 2 rolled out. Nag-expect ako na parang mag-hype siya. It's gonna be more interesting. Pero, parang filler episode lang siya. It's a setup. Na-realize ko lang sa dulo na setup pala siya. Like, yun yung Meralco episode, diba? So, tika makaka-relate sa Meralco. Lalo na nag-COVIDs, diba?
So, nakaka-relate yung wallet ko, man.
Episode 3 happened and naging super interested talaga ako. Tapos parang lumalim na siya. Doon na ako naging invested talaga.
Murder mystery talaga.
Naging murder. Kasi medyo disturbing na siya. And I'm like, yo.
It really shined out nung 3.
Yeah. Kasi yung lines, honestly, parang gumanda yung lines ng 3. Nung 1 and 2, parang sineset up ka pa rin. Nung pagdating sa 3, talagang gumanda yung lines, bumigat yung lines. Hindi ko alam kung ako lang yun eh. Pero I felt like I was more invested in the show after episode 3 until the end.
Saan doon na yung mga personality nila. Parang used to be na parang, they're in the background. Hello po, andito po kami.
The juicy shit talaga starting from 3. Kung nanood ka and binase mo yung show after episode 1 and 2, there's not much promise. Pero pagka 3 hanggang sa dulo, magiging personally invested ka na talaga.
I think like the least like episode for me, it was still pretty good for me.
And for people who are not very familiar with Filipino folklore, you can just jump in. It doesn't provide a lot of backstory in it. I mean, people can just Google things after, diba?
Yeah.
I think that's what the show didn't really do.
Like the show really didn't explain who these people are or what they are. I think it's a design choice as well. Kasi parang it's a murder mystery. It's trying to create that air of like mysterious and who are these people.
But that's the thing, it's way too mysterious. So imagine like foreigners watching this, yeah? It's a show about Philippines, right? It was made for Filipinos. Ang Filipinos kasi pag pinanood nyo, alam nyo na kung ano yung aswang, alam nyo kung ano yung mananggal, alam nyo na kung sino yung barangay tanod.
Especially nung minention do sa After Dark yung mga specific places na they can't reference because of legality, pero like, you know when you see it, gets na, yeah, that's for Filipino talaga.
That's sinasabi ko. Like, imagine like a foreigner who has no idea what Philippines is, like, or the culture behind it, or yung mga folklore natin, papanoorin niya yung show, tas biglang, what is an aswang?
The aswang clan.
What is it?
Tikbalang.
What is it?
Chanak.
What is a nuno?
Nuno.
These things, like, a lot of them, they don't know what it is. A quick background lang sana.
The question is like, they have limited time.
They have limited time. Pwede mag-pause, tas biglang, bang!
Chanak.
Have you seen yung sa Attack of Titan? So, di ba when they're having like breaks or they're transitioning from scene to scene, there's like this big encyclopedia.
Yon sinasabi ko.
I can't blame them for not doing it.
I don't know ba't nila naisip yun. Because I guess they're very passionate about it. Biglang, Philippines is out there.
It's very unique kasi sa Attack on Titan sila lang gumawa nun.
No, Hunter has it. Hunter Pati nga yung dictionary nila nandun eh. A lot of like shows or animes, kung masyadong maiksi yung time mo para gumawa ng show, gumagawa sila ng parang mas ma-explain. And I think yun yung a little bit lacking. They didn't have that much opportunity to actually explain a little bit more about it with the shortest amount of time.
I can't blame them kasi medyo mahal yung Netflix time.
For an example, there's this meeting scene and you don't know who the hell these guys are.
Or what they are.
They have a lot of clans. Iba-iba yung mga clan nila doon. Pero hindi in-explain kung sino tong mga clan na to.
They are also disunited. So, parang may family clan and there's like a lahi clan.
Iba-ibang lahi.
Yung pag-address ni Alexander do aswang sa episode 1. Yung charges na binibring up niya do sa aswang. Kasi sabi niya specifically on that aswang's clan. May implication na parang may ibang aswang na hindi, they are not involved in it. And like there are other gangs that are not involved in it. Especially tas parang nung pumunta siya do sa aswang market, hindi niya yung pinapansin yung iba. But like there's only this one specific person she's looking for. So there's this implication that there are politics inside the clans by themselves.
The problem is, kasi medyo big brain to, di ba? Medyo big brain to.
Ito na yung mga 500.
Kaya, meron IQ 500.
500 IQs.
IQ 20. Yeah. The problem is, if you're less aware about these things, and when you watch, yung attention mo is not that.
Or you don't catch it. You know, I can't blame people for not catching it. Because it's a show, man. You're supposed to enjoy it.
There are some things na parang kinoconnect mo yung dots. And this show, you kind of have to connect the dots is because they don't outright explain it to you. I mean, like, it's a good thing. Hindi ka naman nila, like, ini-spoon feed kung ano lahat na nangyayari. Pero even, like, the most basic things, parang hindi nila in-explain talaga. There is a universe na nangyayari na. Tulad nung pumunta siya sa market, diba?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good thing.
There is a living world na nangyayari, pero they didn't explain how things were going on. It's just parang...
It's there.
Parang pumasok lang tayo sa isang araw ni Trese.
I think that's the artistic decision. Kasi parang diba, like, as much as we are new to the experience as well, Trese is kind of parang new to the job. So parang, it's that, like, established.
She's not new to the job. Kilala na siya. She has so much clout.
She has clout, but from her dad.
Yeah, pero kilala na siya pagbalik niya. Hello, Trese.
She's still trying to be like, hey, I'm the new sheriff in this town.
I love how pinupunta niya lang lahat. Inuutusan niya lang lahat. Tapos nakukuha niya lahat ng gusto niya. What do you think about the animation?
It's not the best, but for a first try, it's pretty good. Can you say it's passable?
It's passable. It's passable.
More than passable, or even good, or great.
It's not consistent. Alam mo yung budget nila punta talaga sa fight scenes eh. Natawa ako talaga nung pinapanood ko siya. Yung mga zooms, which is bago sa akin yun sa anime. Alam mo yung probinsyano?
Yeah.
Ayan. Alam niyo yung mga scenes sa probinsyano, parang lahat parang... Diba, non-stop yung zooms nila. There's this one scene na, animated na siya, pero naka-zoom in or zoom out lang yung camera and they're just panning it. Bakit ganun? Ba't ganun? Ba't din nila pinapakita frame by frame? Talagang pinapakita siya in a zoom. There are a few ones na nakakatawa yung animation, but it's actually pretty good. Okay na.
I mean, unless you're super nitpicky like us, hindi mo naman notice.
At saka, nanood tayo dati ng Slam Dunk, diba? Slam Dunk wasn't even animated, man. All of it was just pictures moving.
I should see Berserk 1994. That's worse.
Kasi, nung bata ako, hindi ko nga napansin yung Slam Dunk. Hindi siya animated eh. Tapos ginagalaw lang pala. I'm like, oh, shit, okay.
But it's not bad. It's
for people na ina-expect na like, Trese to be like the best show ever. Well, don't expect too much. Kaka-umpisa pa lang eh. And this is one of the first things na nanggaling sa Pinas that went on a global scale.
I mean, people who have tried before. Our previous tries are not the best things in the world.
I think like the bar is so low for the things na pwede natin ilabas like internationally that we don't even know if may bar ba talaga.
Even though may bar na medyo hindi ganong kataasan, at least na mas mataas siya sa expectation. When you think about like Netflix or kasi there's no established animation studios that specialize who does like Filipino anime in the first place. The Philippines have like a lot of animation studios, but they're usually doing Japanese anime.
I'm not generalizing na most Filipinos, pero pag may lumalabas tayong gamit, masyado tayong nakikisunod sa hype, diba? Ito yung bar ng Trese. Tapos ang expectation ng tao dahil sobrang hype siya, nandito. Okay? So, i-manage mo lang yung expectation mo versus dun sa product na lalabas.
But I think, di ba yung expectation ng tao is below the bar?
Not all. Kasi meron mga taong mahilig talagang ma-excite. Kaya ang hype beast mga hype beast na.
Kan people ba yung mahilig ma-excite?
Normal people. Depressed tayo, boy. Depressed tayo, boy. Hindi mo tayo na-excite sa buhay. Meron mga taong like excited sa lahat. So it's just like manage your expectations and you don't get disappointed. But it's a pretty good fucking show.
It's a good show.
Nung una kasi, nung pinapanood namin siya, nagkikwentuhan pa kami na may nagte-text pa, alam mo yung gano'n. Pero nung pagdating ng episode 3, tas sunod-sunod talagang,
Yeah, I mean, the episode 1, they try their best, pero like, makikita mo yung difference talaga with everything when you get to 3. So, everything kind of changes.
A lot of people are complaining about Trese's, like, voice. Si Liza, diba?
Wow.
Why? Why are you guys complaining?
I think there's some merit to it. There are some parts na medyo...
Okay, I think a lot of people can agree that she didn't do like the best job at it, but I think kailangan siya. It's one of the first time that we have something on a global scale, and you need somebody with a lot of pulling factor to actually push the art that keeps going out from Philippines. And I'm not discrediting other people na working on indies, but I think it's a good move na kinuha si Liza because you need the pulling factor to push things out.
This series just got 6 episodes. A normal series gets 12 episodes, give or take, diba? Ibig sabihin, they're kind of living on borrowed time. Medyo tagilid din sila sa mata ng Netflix. Medyo nakakatakot na position yun. When you have like a bet series like these, you need as much bets as you can to be able to get as much viewership, as much clout. For example, manage nila, malaki nila yung millions of people in the Philippines. That's already one good argument against Netflix from canceling it. So that's one thing. I think we can say na not everybody's into anime. Not everybody's into animation. Being able to get viewerships or like the entire time talking about it or even watching it, it's still hard. Kasi porket Pilipinos, hindi naman ibig sabihin papanoorin ng lahat. Diba?
For example, bakit si Dwayne Johnson tsaka si John Cena nasa Fast and Furious? For no reason. Kasi kailangan mo humila ng tao. And the fact is like more people come in, we can do more stuff about it. Kaya ang daming movies sa Fast and Furious na lumalabas, diba? So kung mas maraming hinihila ng viewership yung Trese with Liza in it, we could possibly have a season 2. And maraming tao nagko-complain talaga dun sa dubbing ng Tagalog. Kulang daw sa emotion, kulang sa kulang sa intensity. If you guys watch a Japanese anime pero nakadub siya in English, ibang-iba yung energy, diba? So, ibang language, iba yung energy. So, I think yung energy na meron tayo is medyo pang 80s or 90s na medyo Robin Padilla, medyo Lito Lapid, ganun yung, parang ganun yung feel na nakukuha ko every time na manood ako ng nakadub ng Tagalog. And I think that's ours.
And I think like, it really comes with like Trese's character. Kasi pinanood din namin yung series sa ibang language.
Referencing the thumbnail. Like, we really think na parang the Batman character is kind of similar. It's not just similar, it's inspired by... Actually, yeah. From After Dark, the first thing na sinabi niya, influences niya, ginagawa niya Trese, si Batman. Kasi nung napanood namin siya, unang-una namin na-feel parang, Brad, parang si Batman to. Parang yung story niya, parang si Batman. And then, influence nga is Batman. And this is very important kasi parang hindi mo naman sasabihin kay Batman like your Batman characters. That's the point of Batman. Parang I'm Batman. Dun sa Injustice, if you guys played that game, ang dami nilang lines. Si Batman ang konti lang ng line niya. Tapos lahat ng balik sa kanya, ang sinasabi niya lang is, I'm Batman, I'm Batman, I'm Batman, I'm Batman. You can't expect a lot of emotions from a character that's not very emotive. It's part of the plot din. Trese kinda is unemotive because of the things that happened to her. She's a wreck. I mean, she has eyeliner. I mean, look at me. Emo generation. Look at me, man. She's not supposed to have a lot of emotions, and I think like that's one of the point of it. And we also watched it in English. The way na sinasabi niya, parang kulang din sa emotion is because kulang talaga sa emotion siya. Si Trese. Yung character mismo, kulang sa emotion. So you can't expect a lot of emotions from Trese if yung character niya mismo doesn't have that much emotions. If you guys really want to watch it, if Filipino ka, nakakaintindi ka ng Tagalog, do yourself a favor. Watch it in Tagalog. And if you don't understand much of it, just use Tagalog language, just mag-sub ka na lang ng English. Kasi ako yung comprehension ko sa Tagalog, hindi naman ganun ka, what's the word for it? Hindi ganun ka-fluent. Yung Tagalog hindi naman ganun ka-fluent. Pag di ko naiintindihan yung sinasabi nila, titingin ako sa baba. Tapos babasahin ko lang yung sub. I think it's really important to note na parang sa lahat ng tao nag-take ng Philo 1 that had to make projects there. Let's be honest, guys. Hindi tayo magaling. Ako, alam ko na hindi the best yung Tagalog. Yung mga klase ko, dun sila nakatira sa Pinas, the entire lives, hindi din ganun kataas yung grade nila. Punta ka sa club sa BGC. Tingnan mo kung may marinig ka Tagalog na sobrang lalim. Don't complain na sila hindi niya masabi yung mga malalalim na Tagalog. Kasi a lot of us can't even do that. And it's normal. Yeah, unless you live in specific parts na parang sanay ka. Pero yung Tagalog sa Calabarzon, for example, or sa Southern Tagalog, iba siya sa Tagalog in Manila. Kasi Tagalog in Manila is very Taglish, even though people won't admit it. You mean Konyo? No. There's this Konyo specific part, which is like Katipunan.
and like BGC. For example, QC lang. And compare the QC Tagalog to words.
They're normal Tagalog.
Ano ba yan, Aling?
Accents, yung mga accents. Merong Kapampangan Tagalog, merong parang Manileño Tagalog.
Bisaya Tagalog.
May Caviteño, may ganun. May Bisaya na Tagalog. I think ito yung pinaka-general na normal Tagalog. Saan manggagaling yun? This is just Tagalog.
And also, so parang si Trese naman taga Manila, so parang hindi naman siya ganun.
Konyo kid si Trese.
Konyo kids na.
Konyo kids.
Somewhat, hindi fully. Medyo harsh ng konti. I think masyado mataas yung expectations ng mga tao. When you think about it in reality, hindi din ganun kataas yung vocabulary natin. Even if na fluent ka sa Tagalog. Tanga na, may mga nakikita akong words doon na parang hindi ko pa na-encounter since Philo 1 eh.
I think the biggest issue for a lot of people is like kulang sa intensity, lalo na yung mga mura. Oh man. Hindi siya ganun kalutong. And that's okay. This is the best that they could do, and it's the only thing we have.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not even bad.
It's not bad kasi yung mga mura talaga natatawa ako eh. There are some things na nakuha naman nila ng tama. Yung nakita mo yung
Oh yeah.
Nakita mo, di ba? Yeah. You don't ever see that ever. And nung pinakita nila yung sa show, tawa ko ng tawa. I'm like, uy, Pinay yan ah. Dapat may kulang na lang din na yung or growing up in Hong Kong, napansin ng mga Pilipino dito, pagka titingin lang sa'yo mga Pilipino. Isa pang nakuha nilang tama is pagiging pilosopo. Kasi talagang classic Filipino sarcasm. I just wanna add, what's up with the 3310? Bakit ang cellphone niya, super basic, super luma?
Considering yung line of work niya, police work technically, like semi-official.
Ang police nga naka-iPhone ni.
You have a lot of enemies. You don't want them hacking your phone. And we can...
Oh my God, burner phone?
Yeah. I mean, technically, it is a...
It is a burner phone! Santel mo. Pero ang gaganda ng mga shots. Ang gaganda ng mga shots. There were some scenes na sobrang ganda. Like, there's just one specific racing scene. Tapos, gustong-gusto ko siya. And nagustuhan namin. And the first thing that came to mind is... Deja vu, I just been in this place before. Higher on the street. But that's actually one of my favorite scenes is yung racing scene na yun. Because it's actually really cool.
I think it tries to keep it close with like the level of quality nung sa comic. So if you ever get the chance na i-Google image yung Trese, ganda ng mga ng mga panels.
The scenic shots, it's beautiful. They captured some of the places na sa Pinas talaga makikita mo yung Pasay, makikita mo to. And it's really good just to see the places that you walk on or the places that you grew up with and the stories that you have growing up and it's actually on the screen like that. It's actually really cool.
Mamaw si Kajo, by the way.
Kajo is yung illustrator ng comic from After Dark. For them to actually make this a thing, 20 pages of script equals to like 20 pages of illustration. A lot of you guys draw and you know this and you know how hard is it to illustrate something. So imagine like one script translate to one page of like an illustration. That's crazy.
And also did it within 20 days. Like, so every page ginawa niya within a day. Plus may day job pa siya.
The characters! Oh my God! There's a lot of people na nagsisimp ngayon dun sa Kambal.
It just came out recently, yo.
And everybody's simping on these two guys, and I can't blame them because I'm simping. I'm simping on those two guys because they're so funny. They're so funny. They were actually very well made. At saka talaga, sobrang pilosopo nila. And I love it. I love it so much. Go to Twitter, put Trese dun sa search bar, and puro yung mga kambal lang yung makikita nyo. And I can't blame them because those two guys are amazing. Earlier we said na we felt Batman vibes sa umpisa pa lang, di ba? Pinakita si Chief Guerrero. Nung pinanood namin siya, he's very similar to one character. So, Trese is Batman. Overall, they actually showed like really good characters and they're really fun to watch. Let's get out of the show for a minute and let's talk about everything outside that involves the show.
Again, we already said this earlier. It's a bet of a show. It's a bet of a country. It's a bet of a studio.
If you guys enjoyed the show, read the comics because the comic's so good. Yung illustration talaga sobrang ganda. Kung i-compare mo yung animation tsaka yung illustration, mas maganda yung illustration. It's amazing how good the illustrations are.
This is very important because this is the first animated series that has a potential to be big or has a wider audience more than just like Filipino lang ang nanonood. Being a bet show, it's very important for that studio and for any future investments by Netflix to be able to make sure a good example of an investment. There's a lot of potential na mawawala ng chance kung hindi to gumana. Ito si Liza, A-lister, that would pull some people in. I don't know, have you seen yung marketing ng kasi sa...
Yeah, the marketing is genius. I love how it was everywhere, kalat na kalat siya. Tapos yung mga billboards na sinisira ng mga aswang. Ang ganda, ang ganda. They hyped it. Didn't really fail on the expectation department. Kasi a lot of people na hype talaga. And it's not even that bad of a show. It's actually a pretty good show. So dahil dun sa hype campaign nila, it was actually really good. It was executed like really, really good.
And there's a lot of expectations more than just the audience, but also the investors and Netflix. And this is very important for a possibility of a season 2.
But don't get too excited because like Netflix has the tendency to pull shows and not grow a fan base or talagang minsan kinakancel nila. You need as much like A-list pulling factor talaga for it to go further. You need to pull people for it to be pushed out. So I think it was a really good choice na kinuha nila si Liza is because I think like that the show or like what it's trying to achieve needs her. There's a lot more people that could do a better job. But the thing is, like, this is what we have, and this is where it got. Also, because the factor in Liza is part of it. And fanbase pa lang ni Liza, ilan na? I'm gonna pull up Liza's Instagram real quick, okay? She has 15.8 million
Okay, that's
subs. And like, all these guys, like, yung mga super fans niya talaga, yung mga stans niya, all of them would ship Trese. And that's already like one huge crowd to push Trese. Even though like they didn't specifically watch it because of Trese or because of like a Filipino culture that's like with it, nakisama na sila sa wave eh. Lumaki na yung wave. Don't be too elitist about how everything is. Because like a rising tide lifts all boats.
And this boat is really needs a lift.
And we need this goddamn boat to be lifted, okay? We need it. Like, there's so much talent that can come from Philippines. We need this.
Madaming sikat na show ang kinancel na sa Netflix. Like, sobra. Have you seen Daybreak?
No.
Marco Polo.
I did, yeah.
You got canceled.
Yeah. The choreography is really good. Ano pa ba?
BoJack Horseman.
With Trese going big and going out there in the world, it'll open a lot of doors from Philippines. You can have like probably better movies, better animations, better everything. With Trese being out there and showing the people what we're capable of, it opens a lot of doors with local production. So I think like this has to do good. And by the way it's going, it's actually doing pretty good.
Also brings a lot of hype for like Filipino comics. Things like Hong Hang flashbacks, Arnold Arias mythology class. People now have an interest for something like that, and people might give those things a chance.
A lot of people read comics, pero nung lumabas yung mga movies, people who didn't read comics were here, and then like when the movies came out, like everybody started reading comics, it became a thing. So yun nga, with Trese going big, it opens a lot of doors for a lot of things from Philippines. If you guys are feeling off about the voice acting, do yourself a favor and don't watch After Dark, because when we watched it, it really seemed like everybody involved with the show was very enthusiastic about it, they're very passionate about it, but we couldn't get the same vibe from the leads. You just couldn't tell like they were really there. I'm not shitting on Liza.
I mean, this entire video is just defending her in the first place.
I think all of us know that she didn't do like the best job at it, and we know that there's always other people that could do it better, but then again, like there's always things that people could do better, right? But this is what we have, we don't have a choice, and this is where we got with Liza in it. So if you want to know if the hype is real, watch it, because it's a very binge-worthy show and it's a really good show. It's probably not the best, like not best of the best, but it's actually a pretty good show and I love it, and I would recommend it to a lot of people.
And the hype is real.
The hype is real. Be thankful that we have Trese, because if we don't have Trese, then we only have...
Who you gonna call? Ed Kaluwag?
Hi guys! Namiss niyo ba ako? Bakit ka naririto? Sagutin mo ako, bakit nandito ka?
Kaluwag.
Tangina to!